probably will, because that's the way it usually works. Is about the time we finally just buckle down and buy whatever it is, there's something better that comes out.
What did Mike say last week or week before last? Pioneers get arrows.
They do right up there, Heine. If you're the first
Yeah.
one, sometimes you score and sometimes you get scored upon. But that's another story for another night. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight on DJNTV. We are broadcasting live from our headquarters here in downtown Grey Eagle and we're in a second location in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This is an awesome night because we're back after missing a week.
Yeah.
We were gone.
Well, we were here, but you didn't see us. We were together.
We
but
were
you didn't.
together looking like a couple of haggard, tired old men.
We were hanging out that night. We were all together at Irish Pub.
And it was
A
a
very, 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 have the strangest looking group of people you've ever seen hanging out together. Those people.
it was a great group of people and way
A
more
lot
than
of them were here.
way more than I thought we're going to be making it. And not that I didn't, but it's really kind of humbling to think that you walk into a room and there's 30 some people there that had come to see oh, we love the Tuesday night show. And
It was kind of the Tuesday night show gathering.
yeah,
This is what we should have called it.
we should have mentioned. Oh, well, no, it was a fun time and a great time to get to meet and get to know many of the people who are with us each and every week. So yeah, thank you guys for being with us. I see a lot of Ian and day and night and lots of you are with us tonight. And I'm trying to follow both the chat rooms. There we go, and on Facebook and YouTube and such. So if you are,
Sorry, we all resemble that remark. It's not just you. It was just a very odd, eclectic group of folks.
Yeah, it was a fun experience, definitely. And we're going to, it's something we wanted to we'll certainly be doing it again, but there's a couple of opportunities that we might be able to do something more than just at DJ Expo. And that's something I was actually talking to a potential sponsor today about that. So Brian, we'll have to chat more about that off camera.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Be vague. That's okay.
That's
Just
okay.
leave
I'm
us
just
hanging.
alluding to it,
It's
but
all right.
there's things in the works, and we might be able to again have maybe a really cool DJNTV event.
Nice.
Nothing huge. Just really kind of a small social time with a little bit of logic coming from Brian and I, which means it's probably going to be more BS than it will be logic. But hey, it's going to be a good time. That's what we're after. So Brian, we were at DJ Expo, and I just wanted to kind of decompress a little bit after what we saw, because you and I are coming at this from a little bit different perspective than a lot of the others that have been talking about it. And I wanted to just to kind of get your feel of what you experienced and combine that, because again, I know we've talked and we've been together long enough that I know what things you're going to see and your experience and what you're going to bring to the table with the thoughts. So first off, what were your thoughts of overall?
Just in general,
Mm-hmm.
It was a weird year. It was bizarre because we're used to being in one property. We were all kind of spread to the wind. So I think Brian Dowell kind of summed it up. He said, "There's something lacking here in synergy, where we're not all just kind of together. We were all kind of spread to the wind." It did work out. It was a cool event, and there was some great new stuff to check out. Like more so than other years, as far as product went, there was some cool stuff to look at. But it was just not Expo as I know it. If that makes sense.
No, I think it makes perfect sense. As it did seem to have a lack of the energy we typically have. I mean, just in the opening of the exhibit hall, I mean, that's obviously where we spend a lot of our time because of the gear and such of the show. You didn't have 800 to 1,000 people there at the Taj. There were times where the area basically from the exhibit hall doors, that whole area where the podium was, and then the restrooms over to this side, and then there's the get your tickets over here, your passes and such over there, that area, and down the hallway past the I don't know, high stakes bingo or poker rooms, whatever they were. There were times you were out there towards the escalators almost, and we just. There was that excitement of being shoulder to shoulder. Whoa, can't wait to get in. We just didn't have that this year. It was just
I stayed at Tropicana because I figured that if I stayed there, I would at least have the opportunity to run into people I don't think I ran into hardly anybody.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the place is like a mall
Yeah.
with a casino in it and a hotel in it and a restaurant district in it. The place is just massive. You check into the desk and it feels like you walked 3 miles to get to one of the towers or the parking area. It's ridiculously huge. And it was so big that I think everyone was so even spread out at that property. There was no opportunity to really run into folks. A couple of people said hi, I said hello back, but it's not like it usually is.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I can even play a slot machine because somebody's coming up to me and want to talk to
Right.
me.
Yeah.
But not this time. It was in that regard. It was a drag, to be honest, in that regard. But the show was cool. I mean, as far as the vendors that were there, they delivered, and I think a lot of people did a great job stepping up the booths from previous years.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
I thought that a couple of booths that come to mind that I was very impressed by. The ADJ booth looked like I'd never seen it before at
Yes.
any event. They did a great job on that. That was a beautiful booth. Just the way they had it set up, it didn't look like just another booth. And it showcased a lot of products in ways that I'd never thought of using them, which I thought was cool to do it that way. That's how it should be done. That's what you should be doing at these shows. And the other one that I thought was actually very good, and I just and it worked great for that particular show, whether they intended it for it to work that way or not, was the EV booth.
Sure.
Because you could go into the EV booth and somehow you just heard EV. And if you were in that exhibit hall, that was a feat. I mean, that was pretty cool because it's like listening to 17 songs really loud at the same time and no one's mixing anything. It's just noise.
Just noise.
And I walked into EV and I could hear the demos of the EV stuff. The way they had that thing designed, I don't know if that was an accident or what, but man, that booth worked. A lot of people, did a nice job. A lot of people did a real nice job. And the demo rooms were nice upstairs. It was nice to go up there and have a moment of, oddly enough, you go into a speaker room for demo and you get a break.
Yes, that was that was the weird part of it. It's like, okay,
if you go back and you watch my Avante video and my Pioneer video, Pioneer Pro Audio video, I'm just speaking. Hi, Jay, or hi, JC. Oh, hi, Brian. It's not. Hey, we're at Expo. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but here's the new product we have. It was different. So.
It was definitely something. How that the noise of the room just was so overwhelming. Overwhelming. So there was a shuttle that went between the two, and I didn't get a chance to check that out, but I had heard.
You didn't go on the shuttle?
Well, no, I barely.
Oh
left.
my god!
Tuesday was my only time of leaving site. Otherwise, well, except to go to White House Subs. Yeah, I had to go to White House Subs. But beyond that,
that's right. Yeah. I
didn't leave site. It was like we were there, and you'd go and do things, and come back, and then we met some every night. We had dinner with someone, and we were over at the Tun, TUN. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that was the kind of the hotel restaurant bar that was kind of attached, and it had decent food. Nothing spectacular, but you're getting hotel food, which is generally overpriced, and but it's okay. It was better.
Yeah, I ate at Carmine's twice.
See, I wanted to go back to Carmine's, but
I had the opportunity to have Carmine's a third time. In fact, I was getting into my cab to go to the Irish pub, and everybody from ADJ, like the reps, and some of the head, like I think who was out there? I think Alfred was out there, maybe JC was out there. Where are you going, Brian? Come eat with us. Where are you going? I'm like, I gotta go. And I was almost heartbroken. I'm torn. I really want Carmine's again, but we're going to the Irish pub. So, but that was wonderful. I went there with ADJ one night, and I went there with actually Italian Speaker Imports on Wednesday night, and we had a real nice meal, real nice talk. We're going to do some cool projects coming up.
Yeah,
in the future with those folks. But
so I've never been to Carmine's. What is? I mean, and I hear everyone talking about it, especially the ADJ crew. They were talking about it last year.
Well, you know, I've been to Carmine's before, and I think what happens is I walk in towards the end of everything, and I kind of have it's family style Italian,
Okay.
but it's really good. It's really good. I was more impressed with Carmine's this year than I have been in previous years. I feel like I got the real experience. So, like, I don't know, we had like 30 people there, and it was one of those things where it's like, well, what does everybody want? And you kind of get an idea because each plate serves like 3 or 4 people.
Sure.
So, spaghetti meatballs and ravioli and calamari and blah blah blah, and veal parmesan and what you end up with all this food, and you just kind of I'd like to have some of that, and you pass it around, and it's good. It's really good. So I enjoyed Carmine's both nights.
Very good. That's something. Next year, that's on the itinerary.
Yeah, we'll go. I mean,
It's got to happen.
you should come with the ADJ crew on Monday night. Make
That's-
them get you some Carmine's. It's
There
really
we go.
good.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the shuttle bus.
Yes.
Shuttle bus was interesting. Yeah. Apparently they're all independently owned.
The jitneys. Yes. We found this out from Peter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hubcap dude, for those of you who are in the chat room, Peter was generous enough to help us shuttle back and forth.
So yeah, he was there just at the event and gave us a ride back to where we needed to be, which is really cool. But I got on the shuttle bus to go in, and it was like riding a shuttle bus, right? On the way back the first night, I was in a very different shuttle bus. I call it the disco shuttle because this thing had a subwoofer in it that was just pounding, and the guy was playing like hip hop videos, like cool early 2000s, like right there. I mean, cranking him, and he had a Galaxian laser in there, and he had some lights going on.
No way, really?
Yeah, yeah, it was like the party, but I mean, and he had it cranking, and they had like a cooler there with water and stuff in it. It's kind of cool, I ended up being on that bus just by chance 3 times.
The same
Every
bus.
time again, I was like, oh hell no, again.
Oh, buddy.
Get the disco bus. It was cool. So yeah, that's my shuttle bus story. And then of course, the hubcap dude, was there with us, and that was an interesting experience and a fun ride for those of you who are on it.
Mm-hmm.
See, we had Brian K and Larry on there. We had Pulse. We had Jay. We had Howie. We had Jimmy. And
Oh gosh, I saw the picture. Yeah, there's.
yeah, that was fun, right?
That
We were
was
telling off-color jokes and things. It was a good time.
Yeah, Lori and I decided we wanted to walk back because she wanted to get a little exercise because we hadn't walked much out there. So we thought, well, we're going to walk back.
It was weird because he was dropping people off. Like he dropped a bunch of people off at Sheridan, and then a bunch of people we knew got on. Like Shaney got on. It was like, where is she coming from? Okay, well, I guess Shaney's going to come back to the trop.
Oh,
And yeah. So it was interesting.
oh.
A couple other guys I didn't know got on. But, anyway,
Here comes a bus. Oh, let's get on this one.
let's get on this one.
We have no idea if it's a real shuttle or if it's.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was with the jitney buses there, which are privately owned but part of an association, which is the Jitney World. So it was an interesting. We got to learn a lot about the Jitney World and Atlantic City and such from Peter on the trip over. It was a great time to spend on the way over.
Well, I will say this about the show though. In general, it was the year of the speaker. That's the best way I can describe it. Usually when we go in there, it's lighting, it's something. This year it was PA speakers. Man.
Oh, yes.
This was it. There were a lot of launches. All the good stuff was there.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe got launched earlier this year or last year or whatever. A lot of new stuff too. So in that regard, I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was the year of the speaker.
Because for the first time in the DJ world, we had obviously EV. We've been talking about that. Avante. American Audio had new things that they were showing for the first time. Mackie had new things. RCF had new. Bose did not. So there was one that didn't.
Right. FPT didn't either. They were showing their white CS1000, which is new to the US.
New to the US, but yeah, it's basically the white version, which we'll give them that.
Yamaha was there.
No, Yamaha wasn't. LD Systems was.
Right. Yes, they were. I didn't visit them, but they were there.
PV had some new stuff they were showing. I didn't see anything new from LD Systems, but PV was new. And Massey, which a lot of people were not too happy with, but Massey was a new company. They've only been in business for a short period of time.
I don't even know who they are. I didn't even see them.
Bass Boss, they did not have anything new upstairs, but it was.
They were there.
They were there.
And Pioneer Pro Audio was there. They had the new 10-inch
Yes.
top and 15-inch bottom, I
I think
think.
so. I thought it was a 15-inch sub somewhere in that. I don't because
Yeah,
it
it was a
wasn't a 12.
little. It looked like a 12-inch sub, but it was 15.
Yeah, they had new. I don't really know if QSC had anything new, but it was my first chance to hear that that sub, the 12-inch two horn, what have you, two woofer sub that has cardioid capability. So, but a lot. Generally, in a typical year, maybe there's 2 or 3 new speakers. That's it amongst the whole line. Yeah, the K12-2 this would have been the first show because I don't think they were in Mobile Beat with the 12.
Well, Evie's been pretty consistent there. They always come and they always have something. RCF usually comes to that show. FBT's been coming to that show for the last couple of years, but a lot of the guys were new.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them were just. I mean, Yamaha's usually there, but they got a little bitty booth. They had a bigger booth. Excuse me, but yeah, it was the year of the speaker, and then Avante's brand new, of course.
Yeah.
Which is going to be interesting to see come out. It's supposed to be pretty. I mean, they're pretty impressive. They're very smooth. I was surprised how smooth they were, because when you hear a PA speaker at close range, usually it's honking at you. These were not honking, and
Not a bit.
I was drilling JC, who was running the board in there. I'm like, all right, what'd you do with the mid? He's like, nothing. It's flat. I'm like, no, it's not. What are you running? You're running like some FLAC or wave. He's like, no, just MP3. Like, what, like 320K MP3? He's like, yeah. What'd you do to him? What kind of DSP settings do you have? Nothing. There's just everything's flat. And he sounded really good. So with a little tweak, I can just imagine what you could do with those things. That was impressive to me.
DJ Bar asked if the companies that come change from year to year. Yeah, they definitely. You'd see some companies.
Sometimes.
Yeah, some companies come and some companies go. Trying to think of a couple. Like there was some of the online planning tool companies have been there. They weren't there this year. Some of the game companies that have been there weren't there this year. We did.
You know, it doesn't go anymore. Prime Cuts. I never see Prime Cuts anymore.
Yep. Prime Cuts. Their advertising budget has basically been decimated, so they don't have the money to go to shows anymore. So when you do see Prime Cuts at a show, it's generally Jim Weiss begging and such to get a $1.50 so he can go to a trade show.
Right.
Yeah, you don't see this year. Actually, we saw music wise, we saw promo only Nick and Ricky, which that was a story we've talked about. That,
oh, jeez, my
was,
gosh, was that a
that
yeah?
Was, yeah, but Nick and Ricky they're just fun to hang with. If you ever go to a show, you gotta shake hands and meet those guys if you haven't. And
it's interesting.
And then you had ERG there.
Anna and Jordan were there from Top Hits.
And then Top Hits. Yep, there we go. I was trying to think. There's one more. It was Top Hits on the other side. I don't know if there was another digital source of some sort, but I don't know. These are the ones that are there and they're supporting the industry and such. So we see them quite often, and that's kind of an important thing for us, those of us who enjoy trade shows. If the companies aren't investing in the trade shows to help support those trade shows, that means that the shows go away, and we don't like that.
Yeah.
The one company I think I've heard people wish that they would see at the trade show and we haven't seen for a few years is Virtual DJ.
Yeah, well, for what? I mean,
there's really nothing to show, but the last time we saw Virtual was when Virtual 8 was introduced.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah, we used to see the guys quite a bit. You know, when they were trying to introduce that, they were signing people up, they were showing people what was new with VDJ, and they really used to do a pretty elaborate booth as well.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, they had some big corner booths that took them a good day and a half to set up, and it's like, dude, you sell software.
Do you remember that one year? I don't know what year it was, but talking about Expo, do you remember that one year where you walk into the hall and there was a big booth with trussing all over it, and there was these girls wearing next to nothing that just danced? I have no idea what that was.
Yeah, you walked in.
I don't think anybody knew what it was.
No idea, because as I've said numerous times, is that when you've got a couple of young ladies in front of the booth who are dancing and half naked, right on by. I'm not going to stop because that's not what I'm there for. Is to go and ogle and whatever. So, and there was a booth there that had a couple of young ladies, and I have no idea what they sold or what they did. That there were a couple of gals there who were half dressed, and they were handing out something or another. I don't know what it was. Sorry, that's me.
Did you go to Floyd Rose at all?
Yes. I
Did you
did.
check out those new headphones? Did he show you those?
I saw the new ones, the 3D ones,
Yes.
and just the regular ones. I call it regular ones. Wow.
Which ones?
The what are they?
The wood
F?
ones or the Bluetooth ones?
No, not the Bluetooth. These were wired. They
Okay.
were one right in the front of the display, and I shot the video and such on those, and I talked about it. It was an F. I don't want to say F1, an FL1 or something like that, or
I know which one you're talking about. You have the ones with the wood on them, and
yeah, they might have had some wood. It was kind of dark by the time I got back there, and I was talking to Alan on those, but
the ones that are come in the nice wood box.
yeah, they could have. They were on a display on the stand, and they were the ones that you could plug your phone into and listen to, which of course I kind of prefer to do that because there's some songs I mentioned I specifically like to listen to because I know what I'm going to be expecting to hear in those songs, and I was impressed in two ways. First off, the noise cancellation, because it was that back was still noisy because you had DAS that was fairly close to them, and then you had behind you had RCF and then Mackie over on the side, and they were all kind of
Bosel's right there too.
yeah. Bose is a little farther behind, so there was a lot of noise that was going on in that direction.
20 feet. Cranking speakers. Come on, it's right there.
Yeah, it was quite something. But yeah, I was very very impressed with the sound quality of both units. I didn't find out what the price on those 3D versions, what those are going to be.
Well, they're in the works.
Yeah, I
they
think
got
they
a
were,
patent on it, and it sounds goofy. And Alan's even like, look, this is going to sound dumb to you. They're 3D headphones, but you got to listen to them. And I put them on, and it was weird because you know how you put on headphones and you kind of hear it, it's clear, it's whatever. These were different. Like they were clear and all that, and the cancellation was decent. But what was bizarre about them was you could hear a noise here and a noise here and a noise here. They had three-way speakers in the headphones. Yeah. Wow, that was crazy.
Don't they have?
So I'd hear a sound here and here, like crisscross in my head, then would crisscross the other way. It was really bizarre. It's cool though. Very cool.
They have like two
like
drivers?
Quadrophonic headphone kind of thing,
Yeah, I think they said there was a couple of drivers in there. I think in it. That's what.
Yeah, that's what made it unique. There are 2 or 3 drivers per cup, so that's what made them that way.
Yeah,
so it's very interesting.
Yeah, definitely a neat sound, and they're going to be coming out with in-ear monitors also with using that same technology. So that would be interesting.
Yeah, he told me that too. Yeah,
that'll be interesting to hear that by NAMM. They should have that really down, and I'm excited to hear more about that. But, so they've been working hard to create some good headphones that are available right now that I think are going to be something that DJs are going to want to check out. I've already talked to a couple of people who have some of them, and they're like, they were surprised actually, a startup company, that this is the first thing you hear from them, and they're like, these are.
Well, Floyd Rose is not a startup.
Well, as far as this aspect of their company,
Floyd Rose has been around since late 70s, mid 70s.
But now making DJ headphones, is it? I guess
that's new. But they did guitar tremolos. Yeah. I mean, that's what Eddie Van Halen was doing Eruption on, was the Floyd Rose.
Yeah, yeah.
Every guitarist wants a Floyd Rose tremolo on their guitar, custom guitar thing. Kramer did Floyd Rose for a long time. Anybody tried to copy him, I mean, they got totally sued for millions. Floyd Rose, he's the guy's still around. He's like in his 60s. He's like a rock star. But the headphones thing's new. Alan's doing that. I mean, I have the Bluetooth ones right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, these are there's a little FR on them, and
so
these things are cool. And I mean, I got them at Mobile Beat, and I was gonna order the other ones, and I kind of got, because I wanted custom BSR on them.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that because I just got busy. But I put the order in, and they've got my graphic. But anyway, so I listened to them on the plane. Amazing. Bluetooth was real handy for my phone and all that. And then my daughter came to see me after the show, and she said, well, I need some headphones. My headphones broke. I said, well, try these. And that's the last time I saw them until the Sunday night that I flew out to come to Expo, because she stole them. So I just got them back. And they're really nice. And I tried to use them on the way to Atlantic City, but the guy next to me decided that he wanted to tell me about packaging machines for the entire flight. So I didn't get to use my headphones. But I used them on the way back. But yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
And I've got the Floyd Rose on order. I also finally, not these. I finally picked up a pair of the Pioneer 2000s. I know
Oh,
it's all black, but I
yeah.
have them, and I've always wanted a pair of these. I finally got them, so here they are.
Are you going to use those with your mobile show or just for
Yes,
studio?
yeah, these are my mobile headphones.
Okay.
So they'll be going on the road with me. Those are the you know I've got a lot of headphones, and like I have these are my old V Motos, and they've got my name on them. That's
Hmm.
what I had done. I'm getting the Floyd Rose, the one with the wood ends on them. I'm getting the same BSR. They're in gold leaf.
Ooh, that'll look
Yeah,
nice.
getting it all hooked up, and but yeah, those are cool for a studio, But when I'm on the road, I want something that's not only durable but sound canceling. My old Allen and Heath have had it. I mean,
Hmm.
I've had those since probably 2011, 2012. It's a great headphone, but I blew one speaker. They're all whacked out. The padding's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I put on my head, some black crap falls into my face from they're disintegrating
Yeah.
basically.
They basically do after a period of time.
Yeah, they've well outlived their mechanical life. So yeah, those are the new ones, and am going to try to use the clamshell. I don't normally do that, but I'm going to try to use the clamshell
Ooh, and protect them. Protect the
yeah,
investment.
opposed to throwing them in the bag, which is what I normally do.
Yeah, that's kind of not a good thing, but hey, that works.
I think so too. But yeah, durable, cancels sound well, sounds good, comfortable in my head. I need that when I'm gigging, and those will definitely do it better than anything I've ever had. So
So somebody asked about lighting, something about what lighting stood out for us at the show.
it was not the lighting show. I mean,
Yeah, I would agree. Lighting was definitely secondary, but there was actually one thing, a deal there that I think was something I was surprised more people didn't jump all over. It was, I mean, maybe it was just me, but I was surprised.
and that was
In the Eliminator booth, they had those little mini pars, and those little mini pars, again, very small, about the size of a softball, incredibly bright for their size. And you could get them. What were they selling them for? Like $30 a piece or something?
oh yeah,
Under $30 a piece. If a person were just wanting to start out and do some really basic uplighting around the room, they had decent color mixing, and you could have gotten, at $30 a piece, you can get 20 of them for $600. They weren't. I don't believe there was any shipping. They would deliver them right to your door, and you have a room full of LED lights that were DMX controllable. And if somebody walks off with one at $20, who cares? You're
right,
making a profit with those by the first show, maybe even for by your second show for sure.
yeah,
I was surprised. I expected those to fly off the shelves a little bit more because they were small enough for easy truss warming. They had a nice little throw. I mean, it could be used in a variety of different. And again, at under $30,
yeah.
they're disposable if you something happens. So that was surprising that, and I think from what I was talking to, and I can't remember the gentleman who was in the booth there, they were really trying to push people to ship them out. They had 60 of them there on site, and I think they were trying to ship more, and that could have been it, that they were like, oh, we'll just ship them for free. And they
Right.
wanted to probably keep them till later. But yeah, that's was one of those little deals at the show that I think for if you didn't take advantage of that and you were looking to get into that, it was definitely a missed opportunity.
Well, they had the new elements there at the ADJ booth. They
Mm-hmm.
had, of course, I'm running them back here right now. Those are the Pocket Pros
Yeah.
that you're seeing floating around the room, working on a booth design back there. And they had the Boombox FX3, which was just a new light. Not for everybody, but it's an interesting spin
Yeah.
on light. I think it's interesting how in this industry, if something's not custom built for your specific needs, it gets dismissed and you want to rag on it. But hey, a lot of people buy Chevy Cobalts. I wouldn't be caught dead driving one, but it works out for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
price point wise, fuel economy, all that stuff. It's not for me, but it doesn't mean that I'm calling it a crap car. It's weird how some DJs are like that. I think that's really odd, but it's an interesting piece, and that new kind of the ring effect. It's all SMDs. That was not cheap to make. It's just a cool, interesting little something for those who want that visual eye candy as part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
They also had those tripods that light up. And I guess when I first heard about them, I was kind of like, I don't know, man. But I saw them and I see possibilities. I see something there that I didn't think of. I got to get them in my hands and play around with them. I think there's something to these, more to these than I originally thought. They're interesting.
Yeah.
And they're RGB. You can make them do whatever you want them to do.
Yeah, with the remote control.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something to those. And hopefully I'll get some of those soon and we can play around with them a little bit.
You mentioned, of course, the Boombox, and they're chatting about that a little bit. One of the things that I was excited to see with the Boombox 3 was that on the LED, the flood LEDs, now instead of having or the 2 red, 2 green, 2 blue, they're all
Matrix.
They're all they're a matrix now is what they're referring to that area, but
Yeah.
they all can be the same color at the same time, which is yay. I was so excited about that. I want to actually get a chance to play with that a little bit because I've got the original units and I've used those at weddings and such, and they're a nice. But my biggest frustration is I would love it to be all at the same color at the same time. And yeah, it's cool when they do this, but I like to just when I have if I want red, I want to be able to go to red and have red.
Right.
So I was
I
pretty
understand.
excited.
Yeah. It's those lights, those boom boxes. I didn't get it at first. I didn't understand it one bit. But once I used it, I'm like, hey, this is pretty cool. And I've turned several DJs on to the boombox.
Oh yeah.
Local guys. They're like, I don't know. I'm like, try it. Just try it. And I always tell people, just point at the ceiling. Just do that.
Yeah, you certainly can.
Wow, this is neat. I'm like, yeah, easy, cool. This is super simple, and it's effective. And if you use it right, you're not interfering with photos or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a cool concept. And if at first I didn't get it, but now I do. I totally get it. A lot of things are.
Oops. We froze up.
Applied science.
And we froze up there for a little bit. All of a sudden, we just lost you.
Did I come back?
Yeah, you are back. You came back with applied science. It was.
That's the last thing I said.
Okay, yeah, you were talking about there was you just didn't get it, and then we lost you, and then.
Well, some products I don't get, and then I look at them, and it's like, oh, okay, and then you figure out a way to use them that maybe wasn't presented to you by the company, and that's where my videos come in. I'm like, hey, I thought that'd be cool to use all like this. It's applied science.
Yeah.
Here's the tool. Figure out a cool way to use the tool.
For sure.
So, or in combination with what will this be interesting?
Mm-hmm.
So many people, I think, want all of these ideas and concepts just spoon-fed to them.
Yeah.
Like the creativity. Where is the creativity? Take this stuff and do something interesting with it. And that's the fun part of my job, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And to be able to play with and try things out. And sometimes you've got a great, you try it and it's like, hey, that was awesome. And sometimes it's like, well, I'm not going to do that again.
Yeah, but you try something else. I mean, I've used lights in ways that people had never used them before.
Oh, for sure.
And somebody sees this and says, well, that's cool. I didn't get what it was made to do.
Here, coming on.
I can hear you again.
Yeah. We just really broke up with that last little segment. I'm not sure if it's on my end or if it's sneezing. Yeah, we froze.
Yeah, we're unfroze now.
We are not froze here, but it is weird. Maybe the eclipse. Maybe it could be. Okay. Is there a firmware update for the new Element series? Is there needed? I guess I'm not familiar with I haven't played with the Element series. Is there a firmware update needed for those?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know what's going on.
Huh. Hey, it seems weird. Yeah, refresh if you're. Yeah, you guys are talking about it in the chat room. Yeah, I'm looking forward to get to play a little bit with the Element series. Because they look like they're going to be a very useful tool, and again at a price point.
They're neat. They're neat. They're compact. They're affordable. They do a lot of stuff. Pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely going to be neat stuff. Somebody asked today if I had gotten a chance to listen to the little line array from American Audio. Have you got a chance to actually hear it by itself? Meaning that it wasn't in a room full of other
like
things.
early prototype. I haven't heard it. I didn't hear it at the show. I heard it at NAMM, like at a DJ.
It's just one
and
room. So they were
I
asking
was a little
what.
loud. To be honest with you, I thought it was interesting. Like it sounded better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
Not bad. The reps were listening to it and saying, "That's kind of cool." They liked it.
Yeah, for the size and such.
Yeah,
Size and price
point on I think it's $499 map.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's a 10-inch woofer. It's not a 12-inch woofer, so it's a little smaller. But yeah, kind of cool. I'm got a pair on order. They're coming, so we'll have a closer look at them.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And they won't be out till I think. Well, they're coming out soon. If not the end of this month, the beginning of next month.
So I thought I heard. I figured they'd be out and circulating by mid-September, so we should be able to really dig into those and talk about those. I'm just checking the chat room and making sure if everyone's with us tonight. And thank you guys for joining us. By the way, we've got folks in both rooms tonight, and such with that. So yeah, it was a fun show. What was the highlight from this year's show for you, Brian?
Well, the thing is that I feel like that I was involved in so many previews, like personally involved in some of the big ones. The Evolve 50. I mean, that thing is a winner all day, obviously. People are already ordering it. It's pre-ordering it. It's not coming in until October. That was beautiful. It was really cool to be a part of that pre-launch. And then these Pocket Pros are awesome, dude.
Yes.
These are like, it's the quality of a focus spot, but it's the size of an NO pocket spot, and it's brighter, and it's interchangeable gobos, and the screen is very easy to read, and it's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty amazing that you can do that now. The technology's out there, and especially at that price point. Oh my gosh. Somebody in I don't know, I was looking at some video comments, and somebody said that it's still overpriced, and I'm thinking it's $299 map.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
And how much do you charge for your services? That's an amazing value. I think that's a really cool product. The highlight of the show, boy, that is so hard to say. I was involved in so many previews. I kind of knew what was going on when I walked in the door. There weren't many surprises. There weren't really many surprises. I knew it was happening. And I'm excited about the stuff that's coming out just around the corner. Just kind of talking to folks.
Yeah, I think the talking to folks. This generally in the evening there's so many things going on, and we're running back and forth. And because we weren't over at the Tropicana and the craziness of trying to find, there was some people at the Sheraton, and we actually got to sit down each evening and have some just sit around and talk time.
Yeah.
And it really kind of reminded me a lot of our chance to sit and talk when we were in Milwaukee with you, is that we just sat and vegged for a while. And we were able to do that. Yeah. And you don't get that generally at DJ Expo, because back to the Taj, we're sitting down there and there's people walking by all the time and saying hi and this and that. And, oh, hey, we're going here. You want to come here? Do you want to do that? And it's going on a lot. And it's to a point, it just becomes kind of overwhelming after a period of time. We were able to sit in that second floor social area there at the Sheraton, and we sat there and talked for hour and a half, whatever. And it was just a really kind of a time to relax and kind of chill. And of course, the air conditioner was so high that you were freezing, not just chilling. But it was a good experience. So I think what the highlight for me at this show was first off, having Lori with, she hasn't been there for like 12 years. So having her with was certainly a highlight. And then for the two of us to be able to connect with so many people at the show, the people definitely made the show a great experience this year.
So not counting product highlights. Of course, people are always the thing, you know. Carmine's was cool. The disco shuttle was awesome. I spend a lot of my time at these shows outside for reasons that are my business. And that's when I tend to run into people and talk to them. They come outside for reasons that are their business.
Own business. Yes.
And I have some great conversations with people out there on the sidewalk where the shuttle drops people off. I talked to several people, had some good conversations with some people who come to me and ask questions, or I'm asking them questions. And I'm not talking about just a quick hike by. I'm talking about 20 minutes.
Yes. And
So,
that little area that was outside the glass doors at the Taj, you had exhibit hall, you walked through those glass doors, and there was generally a lot of people out there who were minding their own business out there. And I had some great.
It was loud out there because that's where the cabs were. That's where everything was happening, and the fountains were going on.
And but you had some great conversation.
You did, but I had better conversations outside of this expo center.
Oh, really?
I could hear better.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I could hear a lot better. It wasn't horns honking and bellhops and
I get you there
and crap. It was pretty quiet, and it was just the courtyard there between the expo center and the Sheraton, the road or whatever, relatively quiet, not a high traffic road or anything. So that was cool. I had some really nice conversations out there with some people.
Yeah,
and I had some fun adventures that happened on the trip. I had one with Howie that nobody knows about. Howie and I got lost in Philly. That was fun. We got to see more of Philly than we bargained for, but we had time, and Howie's so positive. He's like, hey, we'd have never seen this if we hadn't have gotten lost. Let's enjoy it. This is great. Love having guys like Howie around.
That'd been fun.
And there was an adventure again with Howie. Howie adventures, lots of Howie adventures, with Howie and Larry at the Irish pub that nobody knew about. That I can't even tell on the show.
No.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good.
Yeah, for those who didn't get to go to the Irish pub on Tuesday night, that was the DJNTV crew. Everyone got together there. We ended up taking over like half of the tables, it seemed like, in that section. And it was the gal's like first night or something out of job. And she was struggling.
How many people do we have there? I had 30 people.
I think Howie said that there were 40 people like between going
40
in and out for the night.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell the story anyway, because how Howie's like, tell it. So I'm going to pick up mid-story on this one. It's better if you hear the whole story, but I'm going to pick up mid-story. So Howie and Larry and I went outside for our own personal reasons that are nobody's business. Okay. And we were coming inside together, and I said, I really should use the restroom. And then Howie said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then Larry says, yeah, I think I could, it's probably a good idea to use the restroom while we're here. So we go in there, and Howie says, oh, I hope it's not just a single toilet, because if we all walk in there, it's going to look kind of weird, So I peeked my head in, and sure enough, 2 urinals, and I saw a stall against the wall. Now, I did look under the stall, because you can see,
Yep.
And I saw a pair of Air Jordans or something, There's a guy
in this
on the can, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, there's 3 of us. 2 of us can go to the urinal, no problem. The other's just gonna have to wait.
Yeah.
So Howie and I walk up to the urinals, right? And Larry's behind us. And Larry just starts beelining for the stall. And I'm like, Larry, no, don't go in there. There's a guy. He opens the door and walks in. And he doesn't even flinch. Oh, beg your pardon. No, he closes the door behind him. And then the shoes under the stall, they don't move. Like, nobody goes, oh my God, what are you doing in here? I'm like, what is this? What's going on? You know how you have the disabled stalls?
Yeah, yeah.
They're kind of elongated.
Uh-huh.
The doors here, you go. Well, I know because I'm disabled. I'm always using them because I can. You go in, and then it's kind of like room for a wheelchair and stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that's what you're supposed to have, right? If you have a business, that's what you have.
Yeah, for
At
sure.
least one of those. The Irish pub didn't have that. It was 2 separate stalls. But I didn't know that. It looked like one stall and how he'd walked, or Larry had walked in on a guy. Now, it's even funnier if you knew what our previous conversation was, but I'm not going to tell you what our previous conversation was because this is a family show.
You guys are just
But we all
horrified.
got a laugh out of it because I was like horrified
Yeah, yeah.
that this was acceptable behavior, you know, on the East Coast. Because if you walk on me taking a deuce, I'm going to say something.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, get out of here, dude.
You're gonna get punched in the
Right.
jimmies or something, man.
Something, you
I mean,
know.
that's all I can reach, but you're gonna get hurt.
But it
Oh,
was
my-
too. I mean, and every stall, every bathroom you ever been in the last 20 years, they got that disabled stall,
Mhm.
and that's what it looked like. This was, but it wasn't. It was 2 stalls. But I didn't know that.
Oh.
So Larry says, "I can't wait to go home and tell everybody the story because it was pretty funny."
Oh, very funny.
That was the story. That's one of my adventures
Mm.
that I had. So some good laughs with some good friends, and we had fun.
Yeah, good. It was a good time. Good time. Well, gang, it's almost 10 o'clock. We're going to wrap things up here this evening. We want to thank you for being with us. Great time in the chat room tonight. Thank you for participating there. We'll be back again next week, of course, with our regular shows at the regular times. It's that time of the year, so we'll be good for that next weekend. We're also going to be doing another show tomorrow evening. Watch on the Facebook page because that one's going to be finishing up our week of DJ Expo talking. But we're going to talk about some of the things that could have been done better at this year's show. There were some good things, and we've kind of talked about most of the good things. But now we're going to look at some of the things that we'd have liked to have seen better, and that'll be tomorrow night's show at, I believe we've got that at 9 o'clock Eastern. So, but anyway, look for the links tomorrow on the channel. Brian, thank you for your time tonight. It was good being back and chatting.
This is the last time I'm going to talk about DJ Expo 2017, just so you know.
That's it. Yep, this is it.
I'm done with it.
This
I'm
is
done with it.
our week.
Next week, if you even mention it, I'm smacking you.
Next week, I'm hoping, Brian, and I'm going to just throw this out there, I'm hoping we'll have things ready to go, and we can do a music show next Tuesday night.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, because everything's going to be on its way tomorrow, so I'm hoping that we can get things situated and we can have some fun.
Adding some stuff to the studio here so we
Yep.
can do that for you.
So we're going to try that for next week. So, gang, that'll be, if everything works out, next week, 10 o'clock, we'll be doing a music show again and talking and playing so you guys can hear some of the songs we refer to. So I'm pretty excited. Hopefully that'll work. Once again, thank you for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.